What's going on, y'all? My name is Grayson Russell.
Hey, it's Presley Tunnett here.
Hey everybody, Robbie Johnson here.
This is Darian Lee.
Hey y'all, this is Billy Joe Jones.
My name is Rye Rivers.
Hi, I'm Chloe Styler, and you are listening to The Jay Franze Show.
Be sure to enjoy it.
Thank y'all.
Welcome to The Jay Franze Show, a behind-the-curtain look at the entertainment industry with insights you can't pay for and stories you've never heard. Now, here's your host, Jay Franze.
And we are coming at you live. I am Jay Franze, and with me tonight, the Rachel to my Ross, my beautiful co-host, Miss Tiffany Mason.
Good to see you, Ross.
Nice, I like it. If you are new to the show, this is your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews. So if you would like to join in, comment, or fire off any questions, please head over to jfranze.com. And as we say, if you feel froggy and want to join us live here on the show, head over to jfranze.com/live. All right, my friend, before we get started, let me just tell you what the question of the day is.
Please refresh my memory.
If your life had a soundtrack, what would the opening song be? If your life had a soundtrack,
I can't wait to tell you.
What would the opening song? Not now.
Wait.
If you would like to put your responses in the comments section, we will get to that just a little bit later in the show. But first, we mentioned the CMA Fest last week. We mentioned going there. We mentioned having some fun. But we also mentioned that I have a new best friend.
Which broke my heart.
Well, to be fair. So we went to CMA Fest. I have a new best friend. I went ahead and I asked her if she would join us tonight just to see if she feels the same way. So, if you don't mind, Miss Tiffany, I'm going to bring on your competition.
Dang.
If you and everybody else would help me welcome Scarlett Jackson. Scarlett, my friend, how are you?
I'm great, Jay. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am so glad to have you here.
Well, I'm so glad that you asked me to come on. It's good to see your face again.
See that? We're off to a good start. Miss Tiffany, you don't tell me that. You don't tell me you're happy to see my face.
I said good to see you, Ross.
Oh, that's true. Fair enough. All right. Okay.
That cute little accent, though, I'm happy to have her on.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
It's not my accent you're talking about?
No. Although I have said in the past, big fan of when you say Sarah, Eric, things like that with the E's and A's.
What about Scarlett?
No, doesn't have the same ring to it. Sorry.
It's not the same to you?
No.
All right. Very good. Well, first, my friend, tell us what brought you to CMA Fest.
So I've been to CMA Fest quite a few times, but this year I was actually on the other side of things. I was working the Shenandoah, Cumberland Road Trading Post booth. So I got to be kind of like the PR person for everybody, you know, take the pictures, interact with them, keep the line moving.
Sign their boobs.
Yeah. Signed your boob. It was an awesome time. And I'm very thankful for the opportunity that I had to do that because it opened some doors. Look, I met you, met Tiffany. Life's great.
You can't get any better than that.
That's right.
So did you have to stay in that booth the whole time, or did you get a chance to walk around and enjoy some of the festival?
No, I took a couple days and, you know, ventured out and watched some shows and saw some people that I wanted to see. I saw Cole Goodwin. He's on the rise right now. He actually just released his new single last Friday. Girlfriend's Got a Boyfriend, and it's awesome. He's going to kill it. Just be on the lookout. I went and saw Jake Worthington. He's releasing a new single tomorrow, and it's called Not Like I Used To. Nice. So go give that a listen. It's really good.
Jason Hale, previous guest of the show, out playing bass with Jake Worthington right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah. Jake's going to do big things, too. I feel it.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good right now. I saw him at the festival. I saw him at his booth. We didn't go up and say hello or anything. Pretty popular guy. And he played over at the Dr. Pepper stage?
Dr. Pepper stage. He sure did. And Cole played out at the Good Molecule stage there in front of Bridgestone, which is kind of the bigger stage. Then I saw Ella Langley. She's on fire right now. Her and Tucker Whitmore were at the Chevy Vibes. Not Chevy Vibes, on the riverfront. So it was really cool. I got to see some people that I came to town to see. I met some new friends. We had lots of great artists come through our booth. Davis Luce, Jordan Oakes, Justin Andrews, Riley Smith, of course, Shenandoah.
The namesake, Billy Joe Jones.
Yeah, Billy Joe. She came through.
Previous guest on the show.
Oh.
I think I also saw you with Trey Calloway.
Yes, Trey did come through, and he's got a new song that's coming out June the 27th. She Don't Break It.
Oh.
So that's going to be a good one.
You're full of information. Look at you go. Trey, also previous guest on the show.
Yeah.
Really?
Nice.
I met Trey this past week, and I gave his music a listen to, and I was like, cool, this dude's gonna do big things too. So,
Now, how did you get that gig to be at the Shenandoah Trading Post?
So my friends, Chris and Aaron, they own a printing company called Gold Circle Printworks in North Carolina, and they are the official merch for Shenandoah. And so through that connection is how I got that job.
Okay, fun.
Very grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah. Now, are you a singer or do you do anything with country music?
No, I don't sing. Now, I would have loved to have been a singer. I wasn't blessed there, and a performer, but no, I'm not. But I do want to songwrite. That's a dream of mine, to be a songwriter. So maybe one day that door will open up for me. I would love to be in the industry and have a job as, used to think I want to be a tour manager. Just to be inside the industry doing something with music is my dream job.
I was going to say PR because you were on top of it.
Yeah, you were.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very nice. Well, let me ask you before we get too far off the path here.
Okay.
What was your favorite part about the entire festival? Think carefully.
My favorite part about the entire festival, Jada, signing your shirt. I mean, it literally made my whole entire week.
All right. So is it fair to say you're my new best friend?
I am your new best friend. And I hope you don't get rid of me anytime soon.
Oh, I don't know if that's going to be possible.
I already knew that Jay was like super nice guy, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're standing there in line trying to decide if we're going to go meet that lady that was up there. I can't remember who it was right now.
Sydney Mack.
Yes, Sydney Mack. That's right. And so she was up there, and it was so funny when he turned to you and was like, yeah, I'm just going to have her sign my shirt. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, like, it was happening. And I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, and in my mind, I was thinking, no, I'm not the artist. She's up there, like, you want to go take a picture?
No.
And he was like, no, I want to take a picture with you. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he turned around and was like, sign my shirt. And I was like, me? Like, I don't have anything to sign with. And I was glad my kids were there because they had literally just made it to town like 30 minutes before that.
Oh,
so they
wow.
actually had just walked through and grabbed them something to eat. And I was like, man, I wish my kids could see this. And here they come around the corner. I was like, look what I just did.
Like, I'm kind of a big deal.
And they were like, can't tell mama anything right now. So, yeah.
Now, where is your cute little accent from?
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
Thank you. I get that a lot. And I'm like, are y'all making fun of me? Because
No. Oh my gosh. One of my favorite podcasts. She's not from Mississippi, but she talks like that too. And she talks like when she's telling stories about her mama and her babies. And I eat it up. So I love it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, look. Well, if I'd have known I was going to be on, signing somebody's shirt, I'd have probably dressed up a little bit better that day. Funny story. The day before, I had wore boots the whole day. And I said, not tomorrow, not doing it. Because Shenandoah's line was really long. I mean, we had probably 300 folks come through that line.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, so it was a long day, but it was a great day.
Is that the day that you made the TikTok with your daughter and your husband?
That was actually at the Dixie National Rodeo back in February in Jackson. Yeah.
How
now, my daughter
is
and
your
I
husband?
did make a TikTok, but I was thinking that might have been what you were talking about. We made one there at the hotel. She's trying to get me on the TikTok side of things.
Well, they were very cute. I have to know, how tall is your husband?
6'3".
Yes, he is. Okay.
7'2".
Very tall. That's funny. Yeah, for a little 5'5", 6'3" is really tall.
Well, spotlight goes first to Lainey Wilson. She is a superstar and the reigning ACM Entertainer of the Year, and she is the subject of the new exhibit opening at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Nashville this summer, right next to Music City Center where we were, correct?
It is right next door. The building that has windows that look like a piano.
Oh, yes. I remember you pointing that out.
There you go. See that? It's all coming together now.
I actually visited there this past week.
Did you?
Oh, yeah?
Super nice. The Dolly Parton exhibit had just opened up. It had been open for 2 weeks. Super interesting.
What else was in there that was good?
Of course, my son was there for Taylor Swift.
Nice.
All things Taylor Swift.
We're all Swifties here, don't worry.
I love Taylor Swift. Girl boss,
That's boss with a WSE.
Yeah, I had to run that through the brain a couple times because of BOSS. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, Taylor kind of does have girl balls, so
Yeah,
whatever.
she does, but whatever works, huh?
Slight difference.
They did have the big Luke Combs exhibit open up. It felt like a mile long, but to see all the cool things and just to see where Luke has started out and where he is now, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the evolution.
Did you see my exhibit?
I did.
Nice.
And mine's going to be right there next to it.
Someone who has a very large pay grade or has a lot of money to spend on people. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Mr. Jason Aldean.
Okay, please continue. Scared me for a minute.
No. He just finished his tour. And as gratitude for Corey Kent, who opened for him, he thought he'd give him a nice fat gift, which was a big old shiny Rolex. Nice. So reviewing this, I did ask Jay when I'm getting my Rolex.
Yes. Yes. It's here. I told you it's here waiting for you.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
It's here waiting for you. But unfortunately, you did not come by to pick it up. So therefore, it might have to go to somebody else.
Whoa. Scarlett, hands off.
Hey.
Hands off my Rolex.
May the best girl win.
Nice.
Using those girl balls.
I like this. Kenny's in the house.
Ooh, yes, Kenny. I was throwing shade. Yes. Yeah, I'm always throwing shade at Jay. Must be cold where you are, Jay.
It is. That's why I'm wearing a hoodie.
Okay, well, next on the list is Lauren Elena. She became a mommy. So June 11th, she gave birth to her daughter, Benny Doll Arnold. It says, and debuted her song, Heaven Sent in Celebration. Do you guys remember, the crew listening, when we talked about Lauren Elena, when she found out she was pregnant, she did the music video, and at the end was a picture of the sonogram. So it's come full circle, and the baby is here now, little Benny Doll Arnold.
So sweet.
I want to hear you say it, Scarlett. I bet it's so cute. Say the baby's name. Benny Doll Arnold.
Beanie Doll Arnold. That's a tongue twister, man. Like, I got to practice that 2 or 3 times.
I didn't realize it was going to be a tongue twister for you, so sorry I put you on the spot.
But I knew that typically happens to me. I'm glad I'm sharing that tonight. This was on June 11th. That's my brother's birthday.
Oh my gosh. Craig?
Yes, Craig.
Yeah, because I said Chris when we were talking in person, but Craig. I knew it was 50-50 shot, remember?
Craig and Chad, the 2 brothers.
Oh, Chad, yeah. Craig and Chris, Craig and Chad, they knew what I meant.
Yeah, sure.
She was ready to have that baby. She was ready.
Yeah.
She was miserable.
I think it's going to slow her down for a little bit.
She had an amazing support system for American Idol. I have to assume that same support system is there for the baby while Mama's traveling. I'm sure Benny Doll Arnold will go with her. I can't do Arnold in a country accent. Arnold, there we go.
No.
I think her getting pregnant was a really good thing for her, because she went through with losing her dad, and her dad were really close. And as someone who just lost my dad in the past year, I know that's a struggle. And so then she, just a few short months later, she finds out she's pregnant. So I think it's really helped her get through some tough times. And
For sure.
she seems really excited. So I'm happy for her.
You talk like you know her.
No, I met her dad back when Lauren Elena dated John Christ. That's a long story, but I had some VIPs for John, and we were backstage, and here come Lauren's daddy walking through, and I was like, oh my God, that's Lauren. I looked at my friend, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Lauren Elena's daddy. And she's like, how do you know who Lauren Elena's daddy is? And I was like, I'm going up to him and I'm going to ask him. And I walked up to him and I said, hey, I got a question. You probably don't think I'm crazy, but are you Lauren Elena's daddy? And he was like, I am. And I was like, do you care if we get a picture? Like, I love your daughter. Like, I've been following her. And he was like, no, he was the most coolest dude ever. Like, he was just down to earth. And come to find out, he only lived 30 minutes down the road from me. So
now you guys are like having beers on Fridays?
No, we didn't go that far. But it's really sad,
Yeah.
He was a good guy. And I always wonder why God takes the good one so young. So,
Yep.
Do you know how old he was?
I want to say he was in his 50s, maybe 54, something like that.
Let's move on.
Sure, but
Let's move on. I can't hear that. La 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 la.
Next.
Okay, well, next, there's all this controversy with Beyonce being in the country scene and that Cowboy Carter won album of the year or whatever it was.
Wait, I thought we said we're not including her.
I know we're not, but the news story is.
Oh,
Okay. The Recording Academy will present 2 separate awards at the 2026 Grammys. Best Traditional Country Album and Best Contemporary. I said that weird. Contemporary Country Album.
It's not that much class in there. See, this is what happens when you're riding the golf cart to the yacht. I get it now. You're pronouncing words all funny.
It's the Contemporary Country Album.
That's funny.
Critics are arguing that it is in response to Beyonce's Cowboy Carter win. I kind of think that this is probably a wise move, though, because we're seeing all the collaborations across genres. And so I feel like that's kind of fair. What do you think, Jay?
I would agree with it. I mean, I think when you're dealing with, like you said, all the collabs that are coming from the pop world, I think it's good to have a contemporary, section. But even, you get your Carrie Underwoods of the world and stuff too. That's pretty contemporary. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's true.
Yeah.
So who are we considering to be classic?
Whoa. I'm in the middle of a thought, Jay.
Oh.
Anyways.
And I saw the smoke too.
Yeah. So I think that now I lost my train of thought.
See?
Jay.
Tiffany.
Fired.
You're fired.
No.
Who do you consider to be a traditional artist? Is that what you was asking?
Yes, that's what I was asking.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Gosh.
Sam Hunt. He does that kind of rap thing.
Did you just say rap thing and we're going to say traditional country?
Oh, I thought you said contemporary. Sorry.
Oh, gosh. Right now
Tiffany,
in traditional.
you're fired.
Twice within a minute.
Strike 2, Tiffany. Strike 2. Strike 3 and you're out.
I mean, when we say traditional country at this point, I mean, I can think of like the old school ones.
Yes, me too. There is an up-and-coming artist, Mae Estes. I mean, I feel like she's got a little traditional sound. I'm not so sure that she's going to continue that traditional sound throughout her music, but it would be nice to get somebody,
I think Lainey Wilson.
I like Lainey. I mean,
I think she has a pretty traditional, twangy country sound to her.
Yeah.
And I think also Ella Langley and Megan Maroney. I know that Megan is younger, but I still think that she has that more traditional sound.
Billy Joe Jones. Got to shine a little light on Billy.
I think Trey Calloway too. I mean, I thought her music sounded pretty traditional.
Yeah, I like Trey's voice.
Yeah.
Josh Weathers. I feel like Josh Weathers is kind of traditional. I really like him.
Who's the guy out now that sounds like 90s country?
Oh, Zach Top?
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't get me started on Zach. I love me some Zach Top, and I really feel like country music is in a good place right now because I feel like we're bringing back some of the traditional music, and I feel like Zach is bringing it back, and Jake's following him, and Cole Goodwin too. So I feel like it's in good hands right now.
Okay, can I interrupt? Breaking news. The thought just came back. Okay.
I saw you writing something down.
No, don't talk.
You don't want to get fired?
Don't talk. Okay. So I think the reason why this is a good split is because we have our country people who are traditional. And that's kind of like the try this in a small town or try that in a small town, right? Like they're very true to their country roots. Okay. And then we have the other people that are like, oh, I like country, but I like it mixed with whatever. That solid core original country group doesn't want the Beyoncés. But like, we're open-minded, right? The three of us, like, we'll take everybody. Well, we're not very open-minded, you and I, Jay. I know we kind of kicked Beyonce out. But that was my thought process, is that like, there's a section that will value having that traditional still. And then there's another group that doesn't give two craps if it's split or not or whatever. But anyways, wasn't that like worth the wait?
I think that gets you caught up to the rest of the conversation now.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I think there needs to be that tradition of the George Straits and the Garth Brooks and, you know, that.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, or Tracy Lawrence, you know.
Oh, gosh. Yes. Love me some Tracy.
And Shenandoah?
Of course. All-time favorite. Yes. I mean, 2 Dozen Roses, that's a banger. I mean, that is such a classic, and it will never go out of style.
Agreed. It'll never go out of style.
Look at you throwing a little Taylor Swift in there.
Yeah, that was for your son. Okay.
Thank you. Look, she already knows a little bit about me and my family. That's great. Yeah,
she's a stalker.
Lover.
She stands on the curb and looks up at your window.
Girl, I'm all the way down in Florida.
Come on over.
Okay, well, Luke Combs is now the only artist with 4 Diamond certified country songs. The hitmaker added She Got the Best of Me to his list at Bonnaroo last week. The certification comes from RIAA, the group responsible for certifying songs as gold, platinum, multi-platinum, diamond, and etc.
Didn't Bonnaroo get canceled?
It did. Well, I think the Red Clay Strays were supposed to play or something, and it got canceled.
Yeah. Did they cancel the whole thing, or did it go off for a day or two?
I think it did go for a day or so, and then it got canceled the last couple days.
Yeah,
I'm not real sure, but
that would make sense. In RIAA, you saw a lot of gold, platinum, multi-platinum, and diamond albums when you were in Nashville.
Yes, I did.
You got to walk through a museum.
I know, and y'all rushed me.
I didn't.
Y'all just wanted to go have dinner.
Yeah, well, food is important.
We had starving teenage girls with us.
It's true.
Yes, I did too.
Scarlett, did you meet the daughters?
I didn't get to meet your daughters. I saw them with y'all. I just didn't get to meet them. Would have loved to have met them.
They were holding puppies almost the entire time.
They were more concerned with the puppies.
And then I had to work next to the little puppies, and I was like, I just got to go sneak one little peek. And my friend was like, oh, they got dogs here. And I was like, yeah, I might end up taking one home, but it didn't happen. But they were some cute little animals.
Yeah, they were. They were. My daughter was spitting. Oh, smitten. She was not spitting.
I've got too many buttons. Should we try a different one? No, not yet. Okay, we'll hold off for a little while.
Be nice to me.
Greg said this is the best episode ever, and Kenny said he's got to agree with that.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's really sweet.
Scarlett fans.
Get my own new fan club going here.
Leave the Queen Bee alone.
Yes, Kenny's got my back.
No, he doesn't. He's talking about Beyonce.
Oh, I think maybe.
No Beyonce here, Kenny. Sorry.
I'm the Queen Bee, Kenny. Right. If you're going to bring up Queen Bee, it's me.
You're the Queen Bee of the show, for sure. Until Scarlett knocks you off.
Okay, well, Willie Nelson is actually still touring, you guys.
Let's see, 162?
He's close. 92.
Oh, gotcha.
You're off by 60 or 70. Okay, but he recently resumed
Math.
the outlaw music.
You did math.
Quick, too.
Was it
I
right?
didn't use my fingers.
Was it right?
Yeah, 60. No, 70. I corrected
You
myself
did
with
say
70, which would make
yeah.
162.
Good for you. Oh, happy.
Hey, I'm quick. You've seen me act before.
Moving on.
Next.
Okay. So the legend is still touring. He recently resumed the Outlaw Music Festival with Bob Dylan, released his 77th album, Oh, What a Beautiful World, and is gearing up for the 40th Farm Aid in Minneapolis. So we used to live in Minnesota, and we would always hear when the Farm Aid concert was going to be coming to town.
Dave Ray, Miss Scarlett, from the band Von Ray. He was on the show a couple times. Great guy, but he was on the road touring with Creed and Nickelback. And he called his father and said he just had the opportunity to smoke pot with Willie Nelson. He said that's his claim to fame. And his dad says, well, that's kind of like telling me you had sex with a hooker.
I've just died. That's funny.
So, Dave,
That
if
is
you're out there
hilarious.
tonight, chime on in.
Speaking of Nickelback, I will be in Coleman, Alabama this weekend. Shenandoah is playing Rock the South, and Nickelback will close out the show.
Fun.
Are you taking me? See, that's what best friends do. Throwing that out there.
I'll keep that in mind for the next one.
Yes. We get to see Nickelback last year when they came through town.
Cool. It'll be my first time, so I'm excited.
Very nice. I would tell you the name of the guest that gave me the tickets to go see him, but I don't remember his name. That's wrong, isn't it? He's the live sound engineer for Nickelback, and I forgot his name.
Oh, that's neat.
It'd be neater if you knew the name.
Yeah, if you can remember his name.
I mean, I can look it up, but at this point, I've already screwed it up.
Next.
Oh, all right, well, hey, Christian, thank you. This is too good. Well, glad somebody thinks so. Question of the day. If you had a soundtrack to your life, what would the opening song be? If you had a soundtrack to your life, what would the opening song be? All right, I've given this some thought. We know that my favorite band is Journey, and I think my personality would be of that drive and passion of Don't Stop Believing.
I like
Love
it.
that song.
I have a secondary one too.
No, you only asked for one song.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll hear yours, and if yours is any good, I'll go back and come back with my second choice.
Well, I chose Ladylike by Ingrid Andress. I don't know how to say her last name, but country artist.
Ingrid.
Yes. Andress. That's right.
Like
That'd
that.
be mine.
Oops. I got an apology here. Chris 10. Chris 10, not Christian.
Oh.
Sorry.
Look at her.
Sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. It happens.
Leonard Skinner.
Skinnard. It's pronounced Leonard Skinnard. Oh, Scarlett, they make fun of me every night. I'm sorry.
He fires me every night. He asks for it.
He asked us for it, huh?
Where are we at? Tiffany, did you give yours?
Yeah.
Did I pay
Ladylike.
attention to you?
No, per the usual.
What did you say?
It's called Ladylike
For you?
for me. See, now you would appreciate it. I told you I'd play it for you before the show. You said no.
You told me you didn't want to tell me before the show.
I know, and then I wanted to, and then you didn't want me to, so then I didn't.
Dear God.
It's basically talking about how people say that she's a ladylike, but she says she's a ladylike that'll bring you to your knees. She's a lady, like, smoking with her pack of cigarettes on the dash. Like, not a lady, like, prim and proper, but, like...
That makes more sense.
Right.
But now that you're, taking the golf cart to the yacht, things might change. Oh. Sorry,
So,
missed it.
that's the one I picked.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. I'll have to give it a listen. Miss
Yeah.
Scarlett, do you have a song that you think would be the soundtrack to your life?
Ooh, gosh, there'd probably be a lot that would be the soundtrack to my life.
Well, give us how you're going to open this up.
I don't know. Maybe Wide Open Spaces by the Dixie Chicks or Rambling by Red Clay Strays, because I feel like that's me.
Yeah. I like that song, Wide Open Spaces.
Dixie Chicks are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That was back when they, when they had their right mind, right?
I had a chance to work with them a couple times, and one of the times was when they were a little out in left field for sure. And we were going to the award show, and they were just yapping and yapping and yapping. I was like, okay, I've had enough of this conversation. It went off into left field pretty quickly.
Oh, gosh.
And look, we're already at the venue.
Yeah.
We're here. See you.
Bye.
All right, well, let's go down this list. Amanda says Stronger by Kelly Clarkson. Ooh, I want that one.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I changed mine. Can I do that? No? Can I tell you my secondary one before somebody else does?
I was just going to ask.
Were you going to ask it? Go ahead, ask.
Jay, what was your second one that you were going to tell us?
Well, thank you for asking. Let me tell you.
Please.
Miley Cyrus, The Climb.
Well, I had I do this all the time.
Tiffany, you're fired. Goodbye.
Strike three.
I was going to say another one by Miley Cyrus, but I think it's actually Katy Perry, Wrecking Ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. James says Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen. Lila or Lila? Lila.
Yeah.
Chris 10. Sorry, I've already shown that I'm not good with names. Says Shake It Off, Taylor Swift.
Shake it out.
4, Scarlett Kid.
Yeah. For my Swiftie lover. Personally, I was not a big Swiftie fan in the beginning, but
She
got
won
his
you
mama
over.
on the Taylor train. Yeah.
Cute. He got his mama on the
Taylor train. He's trying to pull me on the Beyonce train, so.
No,
girl,
skip that.
Resist.
And Sabrina Carpenter, and I support him. Whatever.
I remember when I was working in Nashville and Taylor Swift first came out, nobody wanted to accept her. I mean, she was extremely nice, and nobody wanted to accept her.
They're all threatened. That's what my mom always said. If they're not nice to you, it's because they're jealous or they're threatened.
Threatened by you. I agree.
All right, John. John says the Foo Fighters, The Pretender. John, do you have imposter syndrome, buddy? Is there something you want to tell us? Would you like to share? No? All right. Susan, can't always get what you want.
Can't always get what you want. Well, you can try sometimes.
Miss Tiffany.
Sorry, I thought you said do a solo quick.
I did. I was talking more
Break
about
out in song.
George.
George
Says, looks like we made it. Barry Manilow.
Oh, George, I hope that you went on Instagram and I hope you saw the reel we put together for you. I think I'm going to try to see if we can get it on Facebook too, because I know George is normally on Facebook, but I don't know. Scarlett, did you see the reel that we did of George?
No, I didn't.
We got a little license plate that has the name George on it that said Nashville, Tennessee. And then did you ever hear of like Flat Stanley, where you take a picture with Flat Stanley everywhere you go? So we did the same thing with this license plate. So we took a picture everywhere we went with George.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go check that out. That's hilarious.
Pretty awesome.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Check that out.
But yes, George is on Instagram too. I think he's liked the video.
Oh, okay, good.
Tommy Harding, I will use his last name because he is a previous guest of the show.
Oh, snap.
Someone saved my life tonight, Elton John. Ooh, that sounds depressing.
I don't know. It sounds like there's a story there. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Tom,
Can we bring
come
him on
back
the
on the show, buddy.
Just got to go hit the live button.
JayFranzy.com/live.
Join live.
Tony Lynn Starr, future guest of the show.
Ooh, hey, Tony.
She says Beach Girl.
I don't know. Who's it by?
Tony Lynn Starr.
Oh.
See what she did there? She threw in an original.
I like it. Can't wait to check it out.
Might be able to get her to come on with Mr. Bullock. We'll see.
Oh.
Jason Sircone, also previous guest of the show, says Cotton Eye Joe. I think people are just messing with me at this point.
You don't know. Maybe he had to pick the cotton fields.
Jay says, I still believe.
You wrote in to say your own reply?
For my own request. Anthony says, Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime.
Okay.
Misty says, NSFW. I don't know what that is. By Psycho Stick.
I'm surprised you don't. It sounds like a 5-finger death punch kind of song. Scarlett, you listen to a lot of rock?
I don't actually. I'm country through and through, mostly.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. But of course, I have to venture out for Swifties and Beyonces, and but I'm not a real big fan. But I will listen to everything,
Well, we need you to go to listen to Burn MF by a band called Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay, I'll do that.
Make sure you're in an aggressive mood.
Make sure you're by yourself.
Make sure you're by yourself.
No kids allowed, huh?
No. Holly says A Summer Place. Oh. Nicole says Darling Nikki. Prince.
Oh, I don't know it. It's Mr. Mason that's
husband.
from Minneapolis.
Ask your husband.
I know. He probably knows it.
Got a lot tonight here. June Miller says, oops, I did it again. June Miller on 354 West Main Street. I'm not supposed to do that, Scarlett. I'm not supposed to give last names. Stop putting the last names in there unless you want me to read them. She says, against the wind. She's fighting through her life. Sorry, June. Danny says, Living After Midnight, Judas Priest.
I wonder if he was born after midnight. Because you said what would be the first one on the soundtrack or whatever.
To be fair, any time is after midnight.
It's true. Even right now.
It's about to be after midnight. It's currently after midnight. It's about to be after midnight. Oh, Christy says all my exes live in Texas.
I bet she don't live there no more.
She says, LOL, just teasing. Oh, Greg just chimed in and says, Turn the Page, Bob Seger. Now that is a great song.
That is a good song. My daddy loved that song.
It's a great song. I like that song.
I heard that quite a few times growing up.
Now the question is, do you like the Metallica version? Miss Tiffany, we know you do. Miss Scarlett, have you heard the Metallica version?
I have. Not a fan.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Francis, otherwise known as Dewey, says My Way, Sinatra.
Oh, I did it my way.
I ran out of buttons. I'm sorry. Kim says,
Tiffany,
I'm in a hurry.
My ears are bleeding.
I'm starting to.
I love that song. I sing that song. I used to sing it a lot when the kids were little and we're just constantly running from thing to thing to thing. And I was like, why do I do this to myself?
Did you hear Kim's?
No, I was talking.
I know. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Kim says, I'm in a hurry.
That was the one. Yes, I heard it because I just replied
And
to
I
it.
don't know why.
I'm in a hurry.
Not Alabama.
To get things done. Yeah.
Rushing till life's no fun.
You know what? It says Alabama right there, and I didn't even see it.
It was a really good song.
That was a good group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael says, one of those things, Limp Bizkit. Is that the song where he talks about breaking stuff? Michael, chime in, tell us. Is that the song where he talks about breaking stuff? Carol says, A Whiter Shade of Pale. I played that in like the first band I was in.
Is it difficult to play?
It was for me. I am not that good. Yeah, I mean, that was a good band. That band was probably above my pay grade.
Mm-hmm.
Mark says, Eye of the Tiger. No, not long-haired Mark. But Mark with a C says Eye of the Tiger.
I interviewed a person about that song, and he explains when he first heard the song, he was like in kindergarten, and he had like it was in the 70s or whatever, late 70s probably, and he had like the mushroom haircut, but because he was little, he was like 6, he was in kindergarten, 5.
For Eye of the Tiger?
Yes.
Not the 70s, no.
Why? When did it come out?
80s.
Okay, well, 80s. He was in the 80s, like I said. Anyway, so he had these big glasses on. Nope. He had these big glasses on, really thick lens. So, probably a little dorky looking, And he said he was sitting there and they were waiting for a pep rally, and he heard Eye of the Tiger come on, and somehow he just knew everything was going to be okay. He stood up, he whipped off his glasses, and he just started dancing to Eye of the Tiger. It's such a great visual that just this little kid just jamming out to Eye of the Tiger.
It's a great song.
It is a great song.
It came out the same time as Jack and Diane. And my family went on vacation to a beach in New Hampshire. And we were walking up and down the strip, and that's all you heard is those two songs over and over and over again. But that song was written for the movie Rocky. It was written for Rocky because they already had a song in mind, and they were unable to use it. I don't remember which song it was, but they were unable to use it. So they needed a song last minute, and they asked this band to write it, and they didn't want to write it.
Good thing they did.
They threw it together last minute, just went in, recorded it real quick, and it turned out to be a mega hit. Band Survivor.
Wow.
All right.
Lightning
should we start
struck.
wrapping it up here?
Start censoring.
I'm going to censor, and I see my ending point. I see it clear right there. And it's Michael. He's here every week, so we'll go with this. All right.
Okay.
First of all, Gerald says, "Time in a Bottle," Jim Croce.
Time in a bottle.
I don't know. I think we got to put an end to that. Let's see. John says something like Styx Grand Illusion. I like Styx. Dave Ray, we'll use his last name.
Hey.
Because he was a previous guest on the show that smoked pot with Willie Nelson. Similar to having sex with a hooker. He says it would have to be, just like this show, the theme to Benny Hill. Have you ever seen Benny Hill?
No. No.
Me neither.
No, seriously?
I haven't.
No.
Okay, remind me at the end and I'll find some video or something to play. Benny Hill was hilarious. It was old British comedy that used to get away with things that you probably shouldn't get away with on TV. All right, here's the ending with Michael. He says, "Escape" by Journey.
Oh, I see why you had that be the ending, but I'm going to pull rank and I'm going to put one more song on the list. And it would be for me, and it would be A Star Is Born.
You know what? That makes sense. It really does.
I thought so too. And I was trying to look for a Christmas song, and I think that can be a Christmas song sometimes. I don't know. Because my birthday is December 24th. So I was thinking, "Oh Little Child of Bethlehem," but it's "Oh Little Town of Bethlehem." Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll let Jesus fire you on that one. I have to add 2 more. And plus,
Okay.
Scarlett, you said you were supposed to be thinking. Did you think of one?
Oh, I know, but there's
Okay,
so many.
We'll do 2 more and then yours. Prepare yourself.
Oh, Lord.
Christopher says, "Whiskey and Whitley," Josh Ward.
Oh, yeah. That's an awesome song.
All right, Christopher, you got Scarlett's attention. And then Greg says, "Great song choice, Christopher." So you've got
awesome.
You've got a few people, liking that one as well. Miss Scarlett?
Put a bow on it, girl.
I'm not sure. I mean, I like that. I think that Kelly Clarkson song, "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger,"
There you go.
really would speak for my life.
Perfect. All right. Well, Led Zeppelin is who we're going to talk about. They have revealed plans to release a new album before the end of 2025, marking their first since 1982's Coda. The album is tentatively going to be titled Echoes of Time and is set to feature iconic trio of Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, with Jason Bonham, the son of the late John Bonham, stepping in on drums.
Fun fact here. So, like, I was supposed to be named Jimmy Page, but I come out a girl and not a boy.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. My dad was obsessed with him.
Scarlett Page. It makes more sense now.
Wow, you should have picked a Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah, I should have.
Zeppelin, that was one of the first bands, one of the first records I ever got. Do you remember the two people that were making fun of me with Journey and Olivia Newton-John?
Yeah.
One of them was Paul. Paul's house burnt down, or part of his house burnt down, and he gave me his Led Zeppelin collection when I was a youngin'.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So that's how I got into Led Zeppelin.
At least his Led Zeppelin collection didn't burn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was a little warped, but it worked. Yeah, it's not too soon. This was back in 1982, probably.
Oh.
Anyway, Chris Franze was on the show. Chris Franze out with Jason Bonham right now. When they came through town here, what was it, last year maybe? I had a chance to go see them perform, and we were backstage eating, and Jason Bonham came in the room and sat down next to me and was telling me about his grandkid that was just born. It was pretty cool. His grandkid was born roughly the same time as Valen, my youngest daughter. There you go.
Wow.
Tying it all together. I remember that night because it was the night after Thanksgiving, and they still had a whole slew of pies left, and that's all I ate that night was pies. I had the best food.
Okay, really quick round table. Favorite pie? Go, Jay.
Apple.
Scarlett? Key lime.
Oh, I'm a pumpkin.
She's got a little bit of spice to her. Look at her.
Gotta keep it a little spicy.
I don't know. I'd say a little tart.
She just call her a little tart.
She's a little tart.
That's not
Scarlett.
nice.
A little tangy.
She's a guest here.
She's a tangy tart.
Yeah.
We're taking a left.
Yeah.
We're taking a left.
I could eat the whole thing.
I could eat a whole pumpkin pie. I feel that. Although, do you know I always scoop the filling off the crust? I don't eat the crust.
What? The crust is the best part.
On a key lime, for sure. But on a pumpkin, meh.
The crust for everything for me.
It's a mere holder of the good stuff. So good.
Coconut cream is good, too.
I like a coconut cream. I won't spit it out. I won't spit out a key lime pie. So we could all have pie. Although y'all aren't saying you like pumpkin, so I can have your pie. Okay. Nope. I'm not finishing that sentence. Anyways, early REO Speedwagon vocalist Terry Luttrell was involved in a scary automobile accident after participating in a weekend's reunion show at the venue operated by the University of Illinois in Champaign, Illinois, where the band got their start. That is very scary.
Terry is like early days of REO Speedwagon, but sad nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they were just in one of our news headlines, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, they were. Did you catch his age by any chance?
No.
Google.
Yep, I was just going to say.
Google that.
I could look that up, Jay.
Alexa, how old is Terry Luttrell from REO Speedwagon?
78.
Terry Luttrell is 78 years old and was born on January 1st, 1947.
Thank you, sweetheart. She doesn't respond to that. At least my phone responds to that.
I said something to her the other day in my car, and she responded, and I was like, I was not expecting her to reply.
I wonder if Bob worked with him. Bob worked on the REO Speedwagon records back in the day, and I don't know if he worked with him or the other singer.
If it wasn't so late, we could text him and ask him, but it's kind of late.
Be fair, he'd probably answer. But
Oh, is he a night owl?
I don't know. He texts me all hours of the night.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, Nancy Wilson from Heart says the Trump administration was not given permission to play one of their songs at the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary parade on Saturday.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Ooh. In all fairness, I mean, they defended our country, so Should be able to play anything, anywhere for anybody in the Army. That's me pulling rank.
You shouldn't have to get permission from the artist to play their song.
I totally agree.
I mean, it's not like you're saying that the artist is supporting you.
Right.
I think I would just be honored that they chose my song to play my song.
If you are new here, what we do is at this point in the show, we go ahead and talk about a song that we've recommended last week, and then we throw out another one we're going to recommend this week. Last week, I brought up the band Halocene because the week before, threw out a band called No Apology, and we wanted to go ahead and discuss them. Independent artists out of the Ukraine. This week, we're throwing out Halocene, artists originally from Arizona. I think they're now in Tennessee. And then next week, we'll go ahead and tie it all together with the collaboration that the two did together. But Miss Tiffany, Halocene,
That's
what
my
do you
name.
think?
Don't wear it out. Don't try to buy it at Target because it's all sold out.
What other buttons do we have over here? If these buttons were labeled, I'd be hitting them like a madman today.
Yeah, no, I checked them out. I do love that you have pointed out that all their videos are done in their house, which is pretty impressive. I listened to, 5 or 6 of their songs. And actually, I really liked one by the guy. Regardless, I liked his voice. And I was more appreciative or more aware of the cleanliness of the music and the voices and all the, it's a cleaner sound. And so I liked it.
To me, when I listen to Halocene, I think they are, they're polished. I mean, but they're very talented, and it's not just the talent musically. Like I said, it's production-wise. It's everything that they do to put their music out there. They do these live streams that go on for hours. They'll just continue playing songs just as much as people want to hear them. You just keep throwing them a few shekels here or there, and they just keep playing and playing and playing. But what I like is when somebody requests a song that they don't know, they just go ahead and mute the microphones for a minute, learn it in a second or two, and then play it. So
yeah,
it's pretty talented when a band can do stuff like that.
It makes me think of, I don't know what y'all call it, but it makes me think of the yellow pages of the artists, the on-call people.
The union.
The union.
The musicians union.
The musicians union. Yeah, they could be part of it. It still blows my mind. And I know that you say that, there's only so many scales or so many chords or whatever, but it still is impressive to me to just be able to just pick it up and fit in.
All right, Miss Scarlett, you're going to have to go back and listen to Halocene.
Okay.
So that way you can give your feedback next time. But they do a collaboration, and it's a cover tune. They've done a handful of collaborations, but they do a cover tune of Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. Okay. So check it out. Join us next week. We'll go ahead and we'll discuss that one as well.
Hey, I'm getting a welcome back.
Whoa. We didn't necessarily say you. Do I have a button for you yet? No. Not yet.
Okay, Bill Maher.
Maher.
Did I say it right? Maher. Damn it. Bill Maher.
You would think you would learn that one by now.
I almost
Scarlett,
asked.
you like comedy?
No, I got it.
I do like some comedy. I've recently got into some of it, so.
I would say comedy and country music go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so too.
I don't think Bill Maher goes hand in hand with country music.
Maybe Cletus T. Judd.
He's over there. Yeah, Cletus. I think Bill Maher's over there with Beyonce.
Yeah. He's left field.
There you go. See, she's joining us already, Miss Tiffany. All right, Bill Maher.
Well, you guys will be happy then. He has planned to retire from stand-up after taping his 13th HBO special later this year. The comedian, who is 68, will continue to host his political talk show, Real Time with Bill, and his podcast, Club Random.
Bill who?
Maher.
Maher, there you go.
So I didn't realize he had a podcast, but that doesn't really shock me either. I feel like all the major news anchors have a podcast, it seems like.
Miss Scarlett, are you familiar with this podcast?
I'm not.
It's called Club Random, and it's filmed out of his house. It's actually his guest house.
That's where I am, my guest house. You too, Scarlett?
It doesn't surprise me. She's in her guest house, too. But yeah, so he bought this house. I forget what celebrity he bought it from, but whoever it was had this guest house, and they had a nightclub built into their guest house. So Bill Maher kept the nightclub, so that's why it's called Club Random. But he's turned it into his podcast studio. He interviews all these celebrities, but he sits there and drinks and smokes pot the entire time.
How does he keep his political show?
I have no idea.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson gets on there and smokes pot with him, and not everybody smokes pot with him, but they'll sit there while he does. It strikes me as odd.
It's interesting.
It's a very odd thing. Sometimes I don't think he knows how to read the room. Sometimes he makes people feel a little uncomfortable. But, hey. All right, sorry.
Okay, well, some comedians have celebrated the news that the Golden Globe Awards will introduce the category for Best Stand-Up Comedy Performance. Earlier this week, it was announced that the annual awards will introduce 2 new categories for the lineup for its forthcoming January ceremony.
Nice.
So why does it say 2 new categories in the lineup, but we're only talking about one? I wonder what the other one is.
I don't know. But I am a fan that we're adding stand-up comedy to it. I think it deserves to have its own category. It is a big piece of entertainment television and specials and all that stuff these days. I've been watching so much lately, it's ridiculous. Miss Scarlett, you said you started watching some comedians. Anybody that we would know?
Well, John Chris. I mean, I like John Chris. Leanne Morgan. Danae Hayes. Oh my God. Have you heard of Danae Hayes?
How are you hearing of them?
Yes. Tell us.
TikTok.
Oh.
I've become familiar with her on TikTok. And if I'm not mistaken, she used to play softball at the University of Alabama. She's really crazy. Yeah, I love her.
Cool. Check her out.
You'll have to do that. Actually, my friend bought us tickets to go watch her upcoming show that she's going to be doing. And so I'm excited.
How do you spell Hayes?
Hayes, I think is how she spells hers.
That's how I was going to spell it. Perfect.
I thought that was me for a second. I'm like, huh.
I was going to make sure I gave you the...
I was about to get my "you're fired" button ready.
Well, if you can't find her, Danae Hayes, if it's not spelled like that, but I think it's spelled like that. I was going to look her up for you, make sure I gave you the correct spelling, but instead I gave you 2 dozen roses by Shenandoah. I mean, it's appropriate, right?
It ties into the evening.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you ready for the next one?
Wait, no. Greg says Shenandoah and Cletus T tying country music and comedy together.
Hand in hand.
It's always gone together. And comedians have always gone out on the road and opened up for music acts.
I would die to go to a concert and have a comedian open up for them.
I've
never had
Best
that
of both worlds.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Even when we MC stuff, that's what we do too, is you do like a 5-minute set when you're MCing.
Right. Okay, well, Louis C.K.
Just the name alone. Let's pause for the name. Let's let it sink in.
You're
Scarlett,
so
do you know
excited.
Louis C.K.?
I don't. I'm learning a lot.
You're learning a lot today. Anyways, sorry, Louis C.K., he tells stories. He tells a lot of stories in his humor. It's not just like punchline jokes.
I love when a comedian can do like their whole hour set and, they build this story and they tell little side stories and all of a sudden, like one of the last things that they say ties into the first. And I'm like, oh,
the callback.
Yes. Oh God. That is my favorite style.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Clever talent. Okay, well, I guess he used to have a tradition to ask people to have him be inappropriate. They would agree, then they would get mad about it. So
can't just throw that out there just like that. But yes, he got in a little bit of a scandal a little while back, and he was canceled because he asked a couple people that were working for him if they would mind if he exposed himself and then touched it for a little while. And they said it was okay. But
until they said it wasn't.
And then turned around and a whole bunch of them got together and complained about it. And then he ended up getting canceled. He didn't get in trouble over it because they said it was okay. But
so now he's making jokes about his junk.
you would think once you get in a scandal like that, you would lay off the junk jokes. But
yeah, no, he's going for it. He's going for it. Yeah. So the disgraced comedian performed a night of stand-up at the Hulu Theater in Madison Square Gardens. Nice.
Still like Louis C.K.
But
I don't need to see his junk.
You can live without that.
Leave your junk jokes at home.
Leave your junk at home.
That shit kind of comes with you.
Grew up together. Went through a lot of hard times. And we're left.
That's pretty nuts. That's
way left.
All right, bring it back. What's going on this week, Miss Tiffany? Do you have any exciting news that we could share that might not get us canceled?
Well, tomorrow, actually, I'm really excited. I have a new episode coming out. Finally, it's been forever. Daryl Stevens, he actually started Bass Parlor app. I think I shared that with you many moons ago. And we talked about a song by Curtis Mayfield called Give Me Your Love. And really, he has kind of a cool story how he went to DC. He started this thing with collaborating with other musicians, kind of in the hip hop rap scene. And then he thought he was going to be drafted in baseball and he wasn't. So then he actually moved down to Florida and went to Full Sail, learned how to be an audio engineer, everything that goes along with it. He really produces mostly. So then he went to Atlanta and tried to start up the collaborations again. Then COVID hit, and then he basically developed this app that helps people to collaborate, but also, like the music industry we've talked about it before, where it's becoming more and more difficult to make money off of just your music. So this was a way for them, like you, Jay, could even go on there and host an engineering class.
Me?
You, the Jay Franze, could go on there. Yeah. And you can make money doing that. But he had a cool voice in general. So he was just fun to talk to, but good storyteller. And it was interesting to learn about the Curtis Mayfield song and all the things that went with it. So that comes out tomorrow.
All right. Anything else there, Miss Tiffany?
Yeah.
No, I have kind of a boring weekend for the first time in a long time, and I am here for it. I want to go to the pool. I want to go to the pool. I want to go to the pool, Jay. So hopefully this is my weekend.
Take the golf cart down to the yacht.
Oh, I will. I'll take the golf cart to the pool. Don't you worry.
Well, think of me while you're there.
Nice.
Okay, will do.
Unlike yourself, Miss Tiffany, I have a very busy weekend. I will be going north for the weekend. My daughter has her nationals dance competition. So it's a week-long event. Week-long. I will be gone for a week, which reminds me, we will not be live next week. We will not be live unless Scarlett wants to come on here and just host a show by herself.
Hey, Tiffany.
But we will not be
Think
live
we can keep Jay out?
There you go. And she said she was my new best friend. I'm just saying.
That's what happens when you switch like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, dance competition. So I will be doing that. So that will be my excitement for the week. I don't know what I'm going to do without editing or recording or doing something this week.
Blowing up my phone.
Possibly. Not after tonight. I don't know if I want to hear anymore.
It blows my mind when they have these competitions that are like, Hannah had a competition where she competed on a Sunday night at like 8 p.m. Like, who are these people that are organizing these competitions? And why would you choose a whole week? Like, people have lives and that costs money.
The parents work.
I know. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't seem to care. We're going one way or another. We're turning that into our family vacation.
Well, it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's what she tells me. Miss Scarlett, do you have anything exciting going on this week?
I'll be in Coleman for Rock the South this weekend. So
Oh, yeah, that's
pretty
right.
Exciting. Yeah.
You were going to take me with you to go see Nickelback, but I had to go out of town, so we weren't able to make it happen this time.
So I offered to take you to the next one.
So so next time. Oh, that makes sense.
Now, how long of a drive is that for you, Scarlett?
It's about 4.5 hours.
Oh,
it's not bad.
Yeah.
Something I would do, because Tiffany doesn't like it.
Well, you know what's funny about all of it is that, like, I'm from Iowa, Scarlett. Didn't know that probably. And in the Midwest, we all are like, oh, you just drive that. Oh, you just drive that. You just drive everywhere. Like, that's what you do. And because you're close to, like, a lot of stuff, right? Within, like, 6 or 8 hours, I would drive anywhere. But I think it's funny, down here, there is a Facebook group for people from the Midwest. And it's like, you're from the Midwest. You see that it's 8 hours and you're like, we can drive that. So it's funny that you say that, Jay, because I really am all about a great car ride.
I love a great car ride.
Yeah, well, my great car ride up to Nashville was 11 hours. Oh. And if I drove to Jay's, I think it's like 12 or 13. So,
it's 12.
But it's really 13 once you stop.
Oh, yeah. When you stop at Buc-ee's 16 times.
And I got to. I want to start getting
shirts. You can't beat a Buc-ee's.
I know, you can't.
I stopped at Buc-ee's on the way to Tennessee, and I thought my daughter would be happy. She wasn't. She was not happy. It was too much stimulation for her.
I had a friend post the same thing, that she went to Buc-ee's and she was like, I couldn't get out of there fast enough. And I was like,
she said it's too bright, all the smells, too many people, all the things going on. She's like, I'm ready to get out of here. I'm like, you'd rather just go to McDonald's? She's like, yes. So he drove next door to McDonald's. So I said, all right, what do you want? She goes, just a, burger and fries or whatever. I'm like, it's breakfast. She goes, oh, well, then I don't need anything. I'm like, you son of a... She goes, fine, I'll just order me a hash brown.
Just order me a hash brown. That's funny. How old is she?
She's 15. All right, Miss Tiffany, anything else you got for me tonight?
Nope. Anything else you got for me tonight, Jay?
God, no. Miss Scarlett, you got anything left for us?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come on here with you guys, and it's an honor and very grateful. I've had fun. It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Pleasure. For now, folks, we have done it. We've reached the top of the hour, the bottom of the hour in this case, which does mean we have reached the end of the show. If you've enjoyed the show, please tell a friend. And Miss Tiffany, if you have not,
tell two.
And you can reach out to all three of us over at jfranze.com, where we will be happy to keep this conversation going a little more straight, centered, maybe. I don't know. You can also visit us on the socials. Mm-hmm. All right, Miss Tiffany, you got any final words for us?
Yes. Discover, remix, repeat. That's the creative cycle.
All right, folks, on that note, have a good night.
Thanks for listening to The Jay Franze Show. Make sure you visit us at jfranze.com. Follow, connect, and say hello. This episode has been brought to you by VR Knives, your source for 100% custom knives made by a true rock star. So, if you're in the market for a new piece of art, reach out to VR Knives. 407-421-5528. 407-421-5528.